Hello and welcome to this presentation of Fortistacks, which will allow you to deploy a full POC with Fortigate in the middle to your OpenStack environments or even install your own OpenStack environments. But today we're going to get there and see where we find it. So you go to GitHub on the Fortinet Solution CSEs, which is my team, part of that team of Tigers, where we do multiple different projects to put Fortigate and other Fortinet products, of course, into automation realm and clouds in general. So you can go and see Fortistacks. Fortistacks has multiple benefits, but the main one is, and what you'll find here, is a way to do your own mini proof of concept with 2 VMs, 2 networks, Fortigate in the middle, management all the way, and you will be able to see and check in the scripts what you need to be able to achieve that with an OpenStack, scripts, a template, or an Orchestrator. We're going to show Cloudify in this session. What's new with this new version of Fortistacks, you'll also have other videos explaining it, is that we have a public OpenStack available thanks to our good friend at CityCloud. So basically the default is you have a folder in Fortistacks per usage, and you just need to focus on that. So first things first, we're going to clone the project. And because here we want to use a public OpenStack, we need to have that public OpenStack at that account. After many tries, one that works is CityCloud. You can go and log to your CityCloud account. Let me just show you. I was already logged. It just looks like this. You log to your CityCloud account. And that's mainly it. What you need from there, you can find this in the readmes, is the credentials to access it. You can create multiple users in multiple projects. What we need is the RC file. Notice that you will have to do your own and change your own passwords, and you can choose region, etc. Very convenient if you want to do multiple tries or if you want something closer to your own region. So I have my OpenStack RC here in my download, and I'm going to push it in my Fortistacks folder, because after that I will run a Docker file, so it will be easier to get there. Let me show you this on my editor. So this file is just easier to read here. This file is, let's go back to GitHub. Here we want to use a public OpenStack. You can adapt to your own if you have your own one, which should just be a matter of changing parameters. In the previous ones we have Ubuntu OpenStack, which is a way to install your own OpenStack on one machine This video is not covering that. You can find other videos if you want to do this. Here, there is no need to have your own Ubuntu machines with virtualization and everything. You can just run a Docker image and have all the goodness even on your Mac or your Windows using the Public OpenStack. So, as we've done this, we already done all the credential, and we need to add this to our file. Just to copy, choose the editor that you prefer. Of course, I will have to change my password, but you won't see it on this video. Okay, so because I am on a Mac here, just to show you how it works, I usually work on Ubuntu. You have to install Docker, so you're not going to list how to do that. I assume you already done it, or you just follow instruction from the Docker website. Here I already have my Docker installed, so I can go back here and get my nicely done Docker image already on our Docker repository, so you don't have to worry about it. And boom, I am in my Docker image. And go to Fortistacks. I can find my OpenStack RC, and then I can do OpenStack. Manage list, for example, to see that I can connect and can connect to my I have no servers. I only have an external network, and now I can delete my FGT image just for the sake of showing you how to upload it again once we're done with this. Okay, so here as you saw, I am in the Docker, and I copy the SSH and the other things. So now what I have to do, if I follow this, is to be sure I go to Public OpenStack and configure. So let's do that. And you must be sure that those parameters has been added or set in your OpenStack RC. Otherwise you will get into troubles, or you have to set them. And now I do the configure OpenStack, and you can see here the OpenStack commands that are run. I create a management network to have a default one and associate floating IP, default security group, and push my SSH key to my OpenStack so I can easily log in my test VMs after that. Again, the goal of all this is to have an easy to use POCs that works everywhere for people to generate and see and manage traffic going through their OpenStack to their Fortigate in OpenStack. So that's the main goal. Everything else can be adapted. Most of the thing is scripts that you can have a look at. Let's have a look at the script. You will see that it is very common standard OpenStack command lines. You can redo the old things with the GUI if you want to. It's up to you. The idea is to automate it for people who are not that familiar with OpenStack commands and examples, but still want to use this. Okay. Well, we configure OpenStack. Because it's costing you money, if you want to remove things, you need to configure it. Now we need a few images to put in my OpenStack, and especially my Fortigate image. So let's go and grab this. From the support website, you can go to download. Let's make it a bit bigger. We go to download VM image. Choose the 563, but you can of course try and test the 60. And I download the zip file. As you see, Fortigate VM is very, very small, and it's actually the smallest on the planet. We did that with the Etsy plug test and compared to others. Which is a very important part, and talk to any of your favorite Fortinet representative to see what in details that means for you. Okay, so my OpenStack is configured. The security group was already set, so nothing very fancy to do here. And I push my SSH key on there. And go and see that in my networks, and see that I have a management network. I have a provider router now, and we can have a list of the image later. Okay, let's go. So my image is downloaded. No, I downloaded somewhere not reachable from the Docker image. So I need to copy and unzip. I will put it in Fortigate folder. So I put my FortiOS code in the Fortigate folder. To make all this work, I also need a license file. So let's copy that and we come back. So I have my Fortigate, and I am in my Fortigate folder in the Fortistack project, and I go down and copy my license file that I received from my Fortinet representative, an evaluation license. If you don't have one with the setup I used, you have a trial license, so you don't necessarily need one, but it's good to have it if you want to do a full test of the whole thing. So I go back to my Docker environments, and I should go to Fortigate now. And I have a minipoc deploy script. So let's go and run this. So you can see I use XNet and the flavor I set up in my environments. Here you can see also the script is creating the image for you, but if image with that name is already there, it won't create it. The best is to read the script, because instead of doing very long explanation, the script is self-explanatory and you see all what's going on with the different things. So those are the default when you run the former Fortistacks on your own, but because we set up the RC file, we're going to use something else. This notation means that I check if there is already something called FGT56, and if not, I create the script. It's very important in OpenStack because you can have multiple images with the same name, and then you need to rush to do UUID, which makes things complex to understand and set up. Then the script is creating two networks and subnets. Try to create the OpenStack server, the floating IP, connect to it. Everything you've seen in the mini-block were there. And I create two VMs for which the second network will be automated, Apache, iPerf, etc. will be installed, so that you will have two VMs capable of doing traffic and the Fortigate in the middle to be able to see what's going on and to generate and look at the rest. We do create two ports with disabled port security in this script. One is enough in our sense. This is very important for allowing Fortigate to forward traffic and to do NATing. If you don't have that on your OpenStack or don't want to use that, doing the allow address pair is also available and usable. It's going to be documented in another release, but for now it's what it is. And then you have all the different CLI that you need to run things. I just forget that I'm expecting the license file to be called fgt.click, so I'm going to do that now. Going back to the Docker. Okay, so it's on its way. We're going to be good for that. And we can go and have a look at what's going on here. Okay, you can see I created the traffic left. Most of the time, the password is Fortinet. Here it's Fortinet. You have to go to the user data for Apache in the project to see what's going on. Here it's not complete yet. If you want to see what's going on, you just check the cloud init port, but it's still running at the moment, so we have to wait a little bit. Let's see what's going on with the creation. Here we go. We can have a look at the networks. As you can see now I have two networks with the IP I set in my script. And I'm waiting my floating IP to be available. Here we go. Let's see if it's created. For people who want to see, you have to click here on the gray side here to get focus. So you see that my license validation is pending and my it's done. So I get kicked out, but that means I can go and see my Fortigate. So we can automate that, of course, in the cloud init part of Fortigate, but it's not the purpose here. We're just doing demos. So I have a valid license, which means everything looks okay and good. And if I go to the policies and objects, I will see I have a rule, which is not the default factory. On my interface has been set up. So everything is good and according to the plan, and especially the mini-pop concept. So we really did this. Have more Fortigate, a right, a left, two machines. One more thing is I had a route from, I set up directly that this network will give me to traf left the route to the right networks. So let's have a look at this. You just can check your server list. I want to go to the left, so I need to know it's floating IP. As you can see, it has been set up. I have a route to 10.20.20 going through this, which is the Fortigate. And I deliberately choose a fixed IP because it's very convenient when you want to give that IP to the things you want to protect to force them to go to the firewall. And now I can see that traffic right is on 10.20.20.5. So let's go and see if I can reach that guy. Yes, I can. And I can go back to my Fortigate, go to policy and object, and simply deny the rule. You can see I can't ping anymore. and I can ping again. It shows you I have really my firewall in the middle. For convenience, you can just do AB or any HTTP request you want, because you have Apache on both sides or iPerf on both sides, so you can create the traffic you want and see how it goes on both sides. Then after that, it's just a normal firewall type of things you can do. So if you really want to see what is needed in detail, you just have to go to the scripts and see the OpenStack command, OpenStack v3. It has been updated. Commands we use to reach that point. Now we're going to clean this, and to do that, I can go back to my Docker, and I have a minibob clean script that's going to destroy all that for us. Again, you're on a public cloud, it's going to cost you money, so be careful. As we can see, if we go deeper into the minibob deploy script, it can be very cryptic, but at least you have all the OpenStack commands you may need if you want to understand what we've done with basic OpenStack commands, which can be reused with CLI, GUI, whatever other tools. So that's why we put it as a script here. But more advanced users will use an orchestrator. The first orchestrator you come to mind is it, which is available with most OpenStacks, and we have an e-template for that, and that's why I'm going to read this here, because it's much more human understandable in that sense. So you define as a YAML, it's really looking like Tosca. So you define your parameters, your resources. As you can see, we can define the software config, which is going to be the rules we're going to apply on the zero config on our Fortigate. Let me even change that. So we use the Fortigate one. For those of you who check, you could see the license. So I have my license here. I will not put it in full. So you have to put the content of your license file in there to make it available directly at the beginning. So this is how you get the things done, and you can read that file too to make things happening pretty quickly and easily. I put here a reminder of how to start this very rapidly, and as you can see here, you can change the parameters. So if you use your own OpenStack, it's probably the only thing you have to change. Things here and the license file. We're going to probably put the license here, but that will be for another time. So I'm back in the Docker. I do the OpenStack create with the template, the name, and the environment file so that everything is automated. The picture is going to start, so let's go and see on the GUI of OpenStack what's going on there. see. Fortigate is spinning. Have a look at the console during the boot. And here we go, we have a Fortigate up and running. And our traffic generator friends are upcoming. If you need to log here in those guys, the password is Fortinet. You can find it in the cloud init files called Apache user data. You see, I changed to Fortinet here and to adapt to the second interface automatically. Again, not Fortinet specific here, so we're going to move on. Okay, now that we could do this, let's have a look also, a deeper look into that we've done this. Let's go and have a look and continue our exploration of what is in the Git template. So we create a FGT init, which is a multi-line part with mixing the license and the config, and we support that now. And this one is going to be the cloud init for the Ubuntu machines. You can see a bit of complexity here, but it's to be able to adapt to the different Ubuntu you can find, which may have different schema for that. And after that, it's just a matter of defining the right thing. So I want a network called left, I want a subnet that was going to be part of left. This is what get resource means, and all the different things. Here I choose to disable getting the gateway IP to the VMs to avoid mixing with the default route and the default gateway getting from the HTTP. On the FGT, so Fortigate left port, I choose to disable post security because Fortigate is a forwarding device and an add device. So you need to be like in the real life of hardware in promiscuous mode for that. This is one way to do it. Another way is with a load address pair, and we'll probably stay tuned for another video to explain about this. Then the other ones, I apply only the security group to this port, and that's why I create a separate port, because the new version of OpenStack does not allow to mix security group and port security disabled in a VM. Floating IP is a way to get back in, and then I define my Fortigate with my image, my flavor, using config drive, and other things. As you can see also in Fortistack, we have a FortiOS folder, and in the FortiOS folder you can have a very similar Git template, but the difference with FortiOS and Fortigate are very similar. The difference is a little bit in the config. FortiOS has a management interface by default with DHCP on by default, and you rely on a FortiManager for doing the metering and other things, especially useful when you do scaling and cloud environments. Another thing is FortiOS does not need FortiOS does not need config drive. It supports it, but it also supports using the metadata server directly. For the rest, it's pretty much the same thing. So we're going now to delete that stack, which is one of the good things of an orchestrated environment is you just simply have to tell the orchestration to remove the resource it knows, and everything gets cleaned. You don't pay for something you don't use. And now we're going to move to a much more advanced orchestration, fully Tosca based, and this is going to be Cloudify. So if you go to the Cloudify environment, of course you have to read me, which is going to be a little bit better in no time, but remember in the Public OpenStack README, we point to getting the Cloudify image. It's a 4 dot something image file, so I already copied it and I already uploaded. If you want to do that, you just need to copy the image, so here the yellow is my normal machine. Could have used Finder, but that's fine. And now I will see the Cloudify manager at some point. It's a bit big. Oops, sorry. Yeah, I can see the Cloudify manager QCO2 and I can upload it with this command. But I already did it, so if you look OpenStack, I already have my image there. If you don't, what you can do is you move your Cloudify manager to Cloudify, move to the right environments, and I will run manager on OpenStack VM script. And I put -x so you can see what's going on with the different things going on. Again, this works on other OpenStacks as long as you have the right flavors, etc. So you can change also these scripts to point to the right flavor for CLI, for OS, for Cloudify, because it needs a bigger environments. It installs your Cloudify package, so you have a Cloudify CLI. Check if you already have the CFI manager, and because you already have it, it will move on. And if not, here, if you don't set it up and you have the QCO2, it will upload it for you. It can take a lot of time depending on your bandwidth. That's why it's not there yet. And then we can see the Cloudify manager getting created. If you wait a little bit, we'll see it running. Okay. Creating a floating IP. And accessing it to do some changes. So the script is going to auto-configure Cloudify manager to use our OpenStack. So it will be able to spin up VMs and do the magic directly there. You don't have to worry about that in your environments, in the way you describe your services. Okay. So we can go and see what Cloudify Manager looks like. Here the password is still admin. Then we can see a pretty empty Cloudify Manager. Refer to Cloudify documentation for more information. So I just upload and push the plugins so that I'm ready to go with any of the stuff. And we're going to see in a minute how to push for the mini-POC blueprint. As you can see here, I directly also create using the secret vault of Cloudify with those parameters, because our good friends at Cloudify are also creating their own blueprint with Fortigate, and they use this, so you will be able to directly reuse the blueprints you can get directly from Cloudify using Fortigate. But one is missing here. Let's go to see the Fortigate blueprint. What you need to do before you run it is this. Is to push as a secret the Fortigate license. And then if you want to automate the whole thing, yeah, I have a test cheat sheet because when I deploy it, I use those extensively. But you can do the same and reuse my cheat sheet for that. So of course, we can go and have a look at what the Cloudify blueprint looks like. You can see those guys being available there. You can see that you must do this first. It's probably going to work even if you don't use the thing there. And then you can see a description very similar to what we've seen before. And here I choose to make the security group a little bit less permissive than previously. And this blueprint works only on City Cloud because of this here, but we may change that later. And here we have the usual Fortigate definition with the get secret of the license file, which is pretty convenient because you don't want your license to be available to anyone. That will be a mess. Of course, you have the input specific to City Clouds here, or the regular inputs you can get from there. Okay, as you can see, Cloudify already finished, so we can go and check the deployments. Here the Fortigate mini-POC. And you can see a very neat drawing of the mini-POC with it. In fact, Cloudify allows you to define and draw this directly yourself to design your services. And if I rearrange a little bit, we can see better our services with the two networks, the specific port here, the right Ubuntu, the right network, the Fortigate in the middle. And that all the resources has been deployed correctly, where to find them, and what happened in the logs. And of course from, let me show you in here again, that we have all the resources and that Fortigate is deployed. Correctly. Here we go, and you can see the license has been validated, and it's the right one we did want. And let's ask Cloudify to destroy everything. As you can see, the thing is going down now. That's it. You can now play with it, do your own blueprints, do your own goodness inside with Fortigate on any OpenStack by yourself directly from those examples. Of course, it's an open source project, the Fortistacks thing, so you can raise bug, or even better, do a pull request if you change or find anything that you may want better documentation, better anything. We love to hear from you. Of course, there is also the possibility, if you check the Ubuntu OpenStack, to have your full environments on one Ubuntu machine. You have your own OpenStack, and you go from there. But then you need really a physical or a beefy VM somewhere to run that, instead of just a Docker image, a Docker client, and use the public OpenStack from our City Cloud friends, which allows you to scale a little bit more compared to the other one. Both options are going to be supported, and stay tuned for more goodness. One thing that you may want to follow next is, once you have the OpenStack up and running, we develop Uncivil modules to use the Fortigate API to be able to really be able to move and change the configuration using API calls, even if you're not a programmer, which is one of the good examples of Ansible. Like creating a firewall policy may look like this, and you can get the full benefit of Ansible. Or if you're a developer, you can see what we've done with the API calls directly, or others projects. So stay tuned, enjoy, and don't hesitate to give us feedback in the comments, or bugs, or even better, pull requests with better new service scenarios and demos. Thanks for listening, and stay tuned.